Hey there, it's Max again. Yes, your dead guy who has been exploring the afterlife. And this time, I've got a cool video on the North gods of the Underworld. A North god is a deity associated with the cardinal direction north. And in almost every mythology, the North represents where the sun doesn't reach, where winter never ends, and where the dead go. So today, let's rank them from least scary to the one who makes everything else on this list look like a warm-up. Make sure you watch to the end to meet god number 2, because this god will shatter everything you thought you knew about the afterlife. Let's kick things off with Domu. She is the multi-armed cosmic mom from Chinese mythology. And when I say multi-armed, I mean she's got 8 arms. Yes, 8. She also has 3 faces, and each face has 3 eyes, so that's 9 eyes total if you're keeping count. Now, you might be thinking, Max, why does she need that many arms and eyes? Well, she's the mother of 9 stars in this Chinese mythology, or more specifically, Taoism. You see, ages ago, a goddess was just chillin' and bathing in heaven's flowery pond. Then she felt moved. Don't ask me what that means, the ancient texts are quite vague. Anyway, after she felt moved, 9 lotus flowers rose from the water, and each one opened to reveal a star. And that's how she became the mother of 9 stars, folks. Now, in Chinese cosmology, there's a constellation called the Northern Dipper. You probably know it as the Big Dipper. Well, the ancient Chinese believed that this constellation literally decides your death date, like the exact day you're gonna kick the bucket. When you're born, your name gets written down with a specific expiration date, and Domu controls the whole thing. She's basically running the cosmic calendar of death. Oh, and she rides pigs. Not 1 pig, multiple pigs, 7 to be exact. So if you ever wondered what a death-controlling, multi-armed pig-riding goddess looks like, now you know. Now, Domu is more of a cosmic administrator than a frontline warrior. And if you think scheduling deaths from a celestial office is scary, wait till you meet the next god. This guy is your worst nightmare in the afterlife. Alright, moving on to number 4. Meet Mictlantecuhtli from the Aztec mythology. And this dude is nightmare fuel. He's a 6-foot-tall skeleton covered in blood, with bulging eyeballs sitting in empty sockets. He's got an owl feather headdress, a necklace made of human eyeballs, and earrings made of human bone. Oh, and his arms are permanently raised like he's about to grab you in a hug you definitely don't want. Mictlantecuhtli rules Mictlan, the Aztec underworld, which has 9 layers and sits in the northernmost section of the cosmos. And get this, in Aztec belief, almost everyone who died went to his realm. Didn't matter if you were a good person or a terrible one. The only exceptions were warriors who died in battle, people who drowned, and women who died in childbirth. Those ones got sent to actual paradises, but everyone else, straight to Mictlantecuhtli. And the dude's underworld isn't just 1 level, it's got 9 layers like the world's worst apartment building. Dead souls had to travel through all 9 levels, facing trials and challenges for 4 entire years before reaching the bottom where Mictlantecuhtli lived. This guy also lives there with his wife, Mictlantecuhtli, in a windowless house filled with bats, owls, and spiders. Romantic, right? I bet their idea of Netflix and chill is watching souls suffer in hell while owls hoot in the background. Alright, before we continue, if you're enjoying this dive into mythology's most badass North gods, do me a favor and smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on more wild afterlife content. I've got a lot of demons to dodge and stories to tell, so your support keeps me motivated. Anyway, let's get back to the rankings. Mictlantecuhtli does his business only in the underworld, but our next goddess rules the underworld and terrorizes the living world at the same time. Coming in at number 3 is Louhi from Finnish mythology. And this witch queen literally rules the land of the dead. She's the mistress of Pohjola, which is another name for Manala, the Finnish underworld. When Finns died, their souls journeyed to her dark northern realm. To reach Louhi's domain, dead souls had to cross the river of Tuonela, a wild black river filled with whirlpools and guarded by a black swan that sings death spells. Imagine heading to your eternal rest and getting a musical performance from a homicidal swan. The afterlife has terrible entertainment. Some crossed on a bridge made of thread.
Others were ferried across by Louhi's daughter. Either way, once you entered, you weren't leaving without permission. Manala is described as gap-toothed, strong-nosed, hook-chinned, and she can shapeshift into a big eagle. But her real power is that she's also a goddess of death and disease. Louhi gave birth to the 9 diseases, namely colic, pleurisy, fever, ulcer, plague, consumption, gout, sterility, and cancer. She also stole the sun and moon, plunging the world into darkness. Thank goodness she didn't steal electricity, or I'd really be her worst enemy. She also controls the Sampo, a magical mill that ground out endless wealth, meaning she basically invented the ATM. She's not getting enough credit for that. Now let's move to the next North god. This one runs the underworld in a very icy north, where even the furniture is designed to torment you. At number 2, we've got Hel from Norse mythology. She's the daughter of Loki, the trickster god, the same guy Marvel turned into a sexy anti-hero with perfect hair. But in the original myths, he's way more terrifying and way less charming. Hel's story is quite sad, to be honest, and here's how it goes. When Odin, the king of the Norse gods, learned about Loki's 3 monstrous children, he cast each one away. The serpent, Jörmungand, went to the sea, the wolf, Fenrir, was chained, and Hel was thrown into Niflheim, the primordial realm of ice in the north. There, she established Helheim, the Norse underworld, and Odin gave her power over 9 worlds to receive the dead. People who died of sickness or old age went to her realm, not the warriors. Those lucky ones went to Valhalla. The Prose Edda, a 13th century Icelandic text, explicitly states that directions to her realm are down and to the north. Quite confusing, isn't it? Look, I don't know how else to describe it better than that. Maybe when Google Maps finally adds Underworld's navigation, we'll all figure it out together, okay? Now, what does Hel look like? She appears half flesh-colored, half black or blue-black, rather downcast and fierce-looking. Her hall is called Eljuthnir, and everything in it is designed to be maximally depressing. Her food is named Hunger. How ironic. Her knife is Famine. Her servants are called Lazy Walkers. Her bed is Sickbed. Her door is named Stumbling Block. Like, who names their furniture after misery? Hel does. Oh, and her name literally became the English word hell. Talk about brand recognition that lasts over 1,000 years. So Hel runs the Norse underworld with a no-exit policy, hardcore. But our number 1 god, he's her boss, and unlike Hel, who just collects the dead, he actively goes shopping for them. Finally, at number 1, we have Odin, the Allfather from Norse mythology. Now you might be thinking, Max, why is Odin number 1 when he's not technically assigned to the north? And you'd be right, there's no divine bureaucracy in Norse mythology that assigned Odin to the northern quadrant. But here's the thing. Odin doesn't need to be assigned because he literally created the underworld management system. Remember Hel, the goddess who runs the Norse underworld? Odin's the one who threw her down there in the first place. Also, unlike every other god on this list who just rules one underworld, Odin plays a completely different game. He doesn't passively receive the dead, he actively shops for them. Never knew the afterlife had a Walmart for souls. Odin collects warriors who died in battle and brings them to Valhalla. Why? So they can fight for him at Ragnarok, the Norse apocalypse where everything burns and everyone dies. Oh, and get this, when Odin needs information, he just visits the underworld for necromancy, to speak to the dead. Guy doesn't even need a telephone. In one story, he rides down to Hel's realm, resurrects a dead prophetess, and interrogates her about the future. He even stabbed himself with a spear once and declared that every soul who dies by weapons now belongs to him. But do you know the interesting thing about Odin? He leads the wild hunt through winter skies on his 8-legged horse, collecting souls mid-flight. Communities were so terrified of this mid-air grocery run for dead people that they left food and drinks outside their homes to appease him. Sound familiar? Because that's where the tradition of leaving cookies for Santa Claus comes from. Yes, your Christmas gift giver evolved from a one-eyed god collecting dead people. So there you have it, the top 5 North gods ranked. And if there's one thing we've learned, it's that the colder the mythology, the more creative they got with the afterlife. Which god was your favorite? Let me know in the comments. And if you want more afterlife adventures, subscribe to the channel. I've got plenty more stories to tell. See you in the next one. Or, see you in the afterlife, whichever comes first.